Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Oliver Maruda from the Whiskey List, and welcome to the Most Ultimate Whisky Champs 2021. Just letting a few people join. I can see the counter starting to grow, and then we'll kick off shortly. Hopefully, everyone's got their kits. We sent them weeks ago. Hopefully, that resolved, and everyone's kits have been delivered with courier and Australia Post issues. Our apologies if none have arrived yet. Good to see some comments coming in. We'll say some quick hello from Tom. And Whiskey is My Jam is watching on YouTube as well. Awesome. Good to see the numbers coming up. All right. So, yeah, good evening, everyone, to our final event of the year and the unofficial sort of Christmas party of our little Facebook group as well, Whiskey Lovers Australia. It was zucked again, yes, for the second time a few weeks ago. So it's WLA 3.0 when you search for it on Facebook. So, yeah, a few people always forget. If you are watching from home in Facebook, don't forget to just visit this URL, streamyard.com/Facebook in your browser. Click on the accept button. And what that does is we can see your name. Otherwise, when we highlight your comments, it just says not good enough. So Facebook user. All right. A few other comments here. That link again, just for those who missed it, is just streamyard.com/Facebook so we can see your names and I can give you a shout out as things happen. All right, I might turn on our little ticker here. Welcome, everyone. Most Ultimate Whisky Champs 2021. We started off this as a little sort of blind tasting last year. It over 100 people attended last year. It just took off, so it was a huge success. And thank you for everyone attending. And this year we've made it bigger and better, and we sold again over another 120 plus kits. So good. I'm just going to take off our little logo so we can see our wonderful guests. So as a few more people join, I might actually welcome our tasting panel for tonight who will be tasting along at home. So I'll just go through the room one by one and I'll say a quick hello. So in the bottom right, we have Miss Emma Cookson, formerly of Whiskey and Ailments, now off the Whiskey List. Good evening, Emma.
Hi.
You were on last year as well, right, on our tasting panel?
Yes, I was. I came third, but I'm disqualified this year.
Well, there you go. Lucky for those people. We are welcoming in the bottom left here Irina Sim, our resident Whiskey Lovers Australia member, also joining us for the second year in a row. Welcome, Irina.
Hello, thank you. I'm so nervous I'm gonna die because I haven't been practicing. Like I always keep saying that I'm gonna buy all these OBs and drink, but I just haven't this year in lockdown. So I'm really nervous.
For those who may or may not remember last year, Irina said, I know this, it was a bourbon, and went to the cabinet behind her and pulled out all her bourbons, all 20 of them, and just started tasting them and alive. And we're like, not this one, not this one. And I don't remember, did you get it right in the end?
No, I
think
got
she
it down
did.
to Woodford Reserve, but I didn't say it was rye. But I knew it was a Woodford Reserve.
Well, there you go. It's that simple. And welcoming new to the panel tonight, ex-Starward employee now starting a new bar in Melbourne called Golden Fleece. Is Sasha Norsh. Welcome, Sasha.
Hello. I'm utterly terrified, but thank you for having me.
Mate, bartenders make excellent, whiskey experts because you guys are pouring it every day. You're tasting a lot of whiskey, so it's always great to have an expert like yourself join the panel tonight, and welcome.
I appreciate how loosely you use the word expert, but thank you again.
Awesome. And then in the top right here is David Ligoff, our resident whiskey packer. So he's disqualified from tasting tonight. He's the one who knows all the answers, packed all the whiskeys. Mate, you're welcome to tag along and taste at home, but I think you know exactly what they are. So it's a little bit tricky to talk about it.
Hi everyone, and it's actually a really interesting and exciting lineup this year. I'm just here because I seem to be on all of these virtual broadcasts. I'm just part of the furniture, but good to see you all.
No, mate, it's good. And congratulations on both a Sydney and a Melbourne whiskey show. The Melbourne one was last Saturday, a huge success. Great that Melbourne finally got out and started drinking again.
Yeah, we're going to be having a lot more of those and seeing everybody face to face and seeing their legs for the first time in a long while.
All right, awesome. Well, let's get started because we've got a big night of tasting it ahead of us. I'm just going to walk through the rules first. Basically, how it works, you've hopefully all got your whiskies at home. Let me just put myself up so you can see me a bit better. Labeled 1 to 6. So each whiskey, we're going to go in order. And basically, when we say drink whiskey number 1, drink that whiskey. And then whiskey number 2, pretty self-explanatory. When we put up the link, and the links are pretty similar, they're just a SurveyMonkey link. The survey will be active for 10 minutes, and you'll have basically 10 minutes to submit your answer afterwards. Chris Ross from the Whisky List, he's at home just on toddler duty, but he's the one controlling the survey and doing our judging and counting. So welcome, Chris, who's, I think, having a few drams himself, but he'll be in the background there working. Submit it within the 10 minutes, and we'll put a timer on the clock as well so everyone can see where we're up to. If you are an individual, please use your name and keep the name. It's the first field in the survey each time, consistent. If you're in a team, give yourself a team name. Try to be semi-responsible. Yes, we're an 18+ event, but no profanity, no names that I can't put up on screen because that will be an instant disqualification. So yeah, be sensible there. But we do enjoy David, especially the good dad joke or pun. So we might give a little prize for the best team name. What else is there? So basically, these is how we judge it. There's a chance to score 10 points per round with a total score of 60 points, and it's a weighted system. So the first 2 whiskey name expression, for example, like a Glendronach 15, and then the distillery is obviously Glendronach. If you get those 2 right, that's automatically 6 points. And then you have country, type, and cask. So country is self-explanatory, Australia, USA, etc. Type is single malt, single grain, rye, bourbon, and cask is like ex-American oak, virgin oak, French oak combination. The good news is both country, type, and cask are multiple choice. So you don't have to worry about figuring out the weirdest combination for those. You can just go for the drop down of the multiple choice and pick the right one. Whiskey name and distillery being higher weighted scores, it's free text. So you have to get it pretty much spot on to get those points. And if you get it very, very close, Chris, being the sort of a discretionary judge, will, if you say, for example, what's a common one? I don't know. You say like Brown Forman, and you meant Glendronach, but Brown Forman has 3 distilleries, Glenglassaugh, Benriach, and Glendronach. Then you might get awarded a half a point or something like that for getting it sort of in that family group. But you need to get the full 4 points. You need to get the whiskey name and the 2 points for the distillery pretty spot on. Hopefully that makes sense. Any questions, put it into the live chat. We encourage comments throughout. We will also be awarding some on-the-spot prizes for the best sort of banter and comments throughout, or guesses as people are guessing at home. So please join into the chat, whether you're watching from Facebook or YouTube as well. Wanted to remind everyone, so last year's winner, Chipper, was a guy from Melbourne. David will talk about it a little bit, but he won on just 30 points out of 60. And then there was a bunch of people who got high 20s and then even low 20s. So it's doable. It's a fairly decently tricky competition, but it is possible to win. And more importantly, these are the winners from last year. So we had basically all the whiskies that are in your sample kits tonight. Like last year, we purchased them all online ahead of this competition, so they are all available to try. So it's a good mix of basically bottlings from all around the world, some locals as well. Think about hard in terms of your guessing, but you can see here we're trying to be whiskey that is accessible to buy online is the core prerequisite when it comes to putting these tasting kits together. There won't be whiskey that was only released yesterday and only 2 people in Australia have tried it. That's a little bit unfair. So hopefully that makes sense. I think that's it. David, I think you had some tips in terms of what makes people a high chance of winning. Do you want to talk us through some of those tips?
Yeah, it's interesting. You speak to these whiskey experts, guys like Charlie McLean, etc., around the world, and they admit that picking an exact whiskey is virtually impossible unless it's really a standout. There's some distilleries which are quite iconic, which you can pick their DNA straight away. But as you say, the winner last year had got 50% of the points. And probably the main tip is 2 things. Firstly, it's easier to pick what it isn't than what it is. So use a process of elimination. and discount the obvious the non-starters, and then it helps narrow down your guesswork. The other one is also go with your gut. Is that you guys you've all drunk a lot of whiskey, and sometimes your first guess is your best guess, and don't try and overthink with your gut. Use the process of elimination and just have fun.
Thank you, David. I'm just going through the comments, and Paul, you're the very first to catch on it. There was a few others here. Paul, Harry, another Paul here, but Paul, you're the very first one, so congratulations. You won an on-the-spot prize for checking my very rushed spell check job there. So, Paul, one of us will reach out to you afterwards to organise that for you, a little tasty sample or something. So, it's that easy to win prizes. Just comment something silly. Heath, no, we do not accept Dalmore as a bribe. I'm sorry, mate. Try again. All right. I think we are ready to rock and roll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post up the link, get whiskey number 1 up, and you basically, everyone will has 10 minutes to try. So let's put that up. I will start the timer. Add to stream.
Looks like an eyedropper top bit anyway.
All right. Good luck, everyone. We are live. Whiskey number 1. Jump on, start tasting it. Might cut back to our wonderful group of experts. What are we trying? What are we tasting? What's the first thing we get on the nose? Jump in, whoever wants to go first.
I like that it smells really nice and creamy and light.
Yeah, I thought like
Is this
honeyed apples and that kind of jazz. It's like green
that, like,
green
orange
apples and honey.
blossom. Yeah.
Yes, Garth. That's how it works, basically. and Heath, I don't know what you're bribing, but Jonathan is definitely going to accept Dalmore as a bribe.
I was going to say I have no real power in this situation, but I'll take any bribes.
Non-EFIT 150.
I love this comment, mate. This is delicious. Spicy, as a good friend of mine would say.
Spicy meatball.
Sasha, I'll go, David.
Just saying that these whiskies were bottled into the Sun bottles unadulterated. We did not add our own E150 or any other cooking caramel supplements. That the color is as the color should be.
This is a whiskey I would drink before I start drinking like a lot of whiskey. I don't know if that helps, but hey, you know that. Yeah,
it's your breakfast whiskey.
No,
it's warming me up.
This is a really kick-ass breakfast whiskey. It's really the palate is just really light and clean, and I think it tastes kind of weedy. I think there's a sweetness there, but I don't know. I've also been wrong a lot in my life.
I'm always right.
It's okay to
and
be wrong.
I reckon, like, it's so clean. Like, I like that you said clean because it's so clean that it almost tastes like it's triple distilled, almost like an Irish.
All right, so we've got one country mentioned, Irish. Emma, any hints to possible country? Let's start with probably the easiest one.
I mean, like, that cleanness, whenever you think of, like, really clean palate whiskies, it's either, like what Arena said, or Irish, or, like, Japanese whiskies can have that cleanliness to them as well. But then you get those, like, really soft, like, floral Scottish whiskies, but yeah, cleanliness, I tend to go for either like Irish or Japanese in terms of when I taste that. It's like, well, whose palate is this for?
What are the Irish distilleries? I need help.
There's like a few.
I still reckon it's Irish, but it's so savory. Like I don't think it's Bushmills because it's not appley enough.
You got like Bushmills, Kilbeggan, Middleton Distillery, You got newer ones like Waterford and
Like Slane and
Teeling and stuff
Lambay
like
and
that. Slane, yeah.
I wish it was a proper 12, but it's not sweet enough to be.
proper 12.
It,
That's
it tastes
proper
like
12.
whiskey.
We have
That's
standards,
why
yeah.
it's not proper 12.
Proper 12 is like 98% Bushmills, isn't it? It's like
Ooh,
most
my
of it's just
understanding-
Bushmills.
Oh,
think
so
it's
it's not a
contract
Bushmills.
distilled.
Aha! Tragic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like contract distilled at Bushmills, but it's like 2 or 3 year old
Yeah.
spirit, like
Ah.
spirit that's like looked at wood once and is like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Super young.
Okay,
Yeah,
I've got to
that's
change my
2%
guess.
armpit sweat, yes.
So just a quick comment here, having trouble with the link, Alba Whiskey. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Good to see you at the show on Melbourne as well. It's just surveymonkey.com/r/MUWC1. And that's the link here. And just a quick time check. I will, where the hell's the time button? Here we go. We are halfway through pretty much. So if you haven't started guessing, obviously put your name or team name in and use the same name or team name in throughout of each of the survey links. Start going through. And as David suggested, maybe go for the multiple choice, think of the country and some of the other categories, and then go back and put your free text suggestion for the distillery and whiskey. So we'll give you another time check soon. So we've got a possible Japanese suggestion. We've got a possible Irish. Sasha, any country of origin for you?
I was probably leaning towards Ireland. But I'm racking my brain for what distillery it could be. And there's nothing that's kind of nothing that's really coming to me at the moment, honestly. If I said anything, I'll just be making it up.
I'm going through the comments for like any clues, but no one's giving me clues yet, guys.
Well, before you just leap into the distillery or the actual thing, and look at firstly what type is it? Is it a single malt? Is it a blend?
I think
is it a grain?
I would be pretty comfortable saying it's a blended whiskey. I don't think it's a single malt whiskey. I think it's heavy barley and wheat. Maybe corn. So I mean that kind of lends me to think Ireland. Cask type. I think there could be a little bit of sherry. There could be a little bit of sherry cask in this, but it's probably mostly ex-bourbon. I don't know. They're all of my feelings. I'm also sad. That's another one of my feelings.
That's what I get as well.
How can you tell if it's a lot of sadness? How can you tell if it's like sherry, if it's got like sherry in it as well? Like a sherry cask.
You can usually like pick up like either fruit notes or like sugar notes from it. Like and for me, a lot of what I do is going, you should never do this because of E150, but like I go by color. So like depending on like the flavor and the aroma mixed with the color, you can look at it and be like, all right, it's got a lot of like sugar fruit flat flavors. So there's a little bit of sherry, but the color is not super reddish. So it's like predominantly ex-bourbon, I think.
This one, I think the sherry note is like this dried apricot sort of thing. And I think that was the thing that I was like, oh, sherry.
Yeah.
But no idea.
All right, because of your ads, I'm going to put American oak plus European oak. But because there's no sherry, maybe not American oak plus special cask finish. Help.
I would go plus European oak. I'm not doing this. Okay. I'll play on your team.
All right. Done. Oh, I submitted. Okay.
Emma, any guesses from you?
Those fruit notes say sherry to me, so I want to say there's a bit of sherry, but the color says ex-bourbon because it's not spicy enough to be virgin oak. So
I think
it is
I think
pretty
it's a
spicy.
question to our experts panel, maybe for the vibes. I don't know. Chris, can you give me a thumbs up if people are submitting their answers? We have about how much have we got to go? We got 1 minute and 30 going. So if you haven't started getting your final answers in, start locking it in. That minute will go by so quickly. And one of the things we learned from last year is people got that 10 minutes was up, and then people were like, I forgot to submit, or, I needed 30 seconds more. So just, please get those submissions in, because we want as many people, obviously, to count your answers.
Yeah. You got to commit as well. Go with your gut. Always trust your gut. And then your liver, because your liver has to process it.
I trust Sasha. So if you get it wrong.
If he gets it wrong, you're going to fly down here to Melbourne and... How dare you?
Jenny,
we lost the prize.
I'm opening a wine bar. I don't know whiskey anymore.
You never forget.
Yeah,
Jenny,
unfortunately.
There is a couple clues. One is all the whiskies are available online to buy in Australia, because we bought them all a few weeks ago. There is a kind of a theme, so we're not going to repeat the previous sort of whiskey category or country or something like that, if that kind of makes sense. If we've just done an Irish whiskey, we probably won't do an Irish whiskey again, judging from if everyone just looks at the whiskies from last year. There was a bit of a theme to it, so you could see there was a mix there.
Oh no!
The time is up.
Oh, no.
I'm late.
Wait, so it's not an
Jesus.
Irish? Oh no!
My brain immediately went, okay, get the cake out of the oven.
How the hell do you stop that? All right, off. I've never used this.
Mine looked for the snooze button.
All right, this is a great timer. Okay.
Memes,
all right, I will
timers,
give everyone 30 more seconds to submit your answers, get it in. But yeah, there is a bit of a theme. So we try not to sort of repeat the whiskey. So if this one was an Irish, we probably won't do an Irish again. On the exception of last year's one, we obviously did 2 Scotches. You can see the first one there and the last one. These aren't in order of what they were presented as well, just not to confuse anyone. But one was obviously a peated Scotch and one was an unpeated one with the Port Charlotte and the Glen Grant Aberlour there. So there is a bit of a theme there. It's probably the biggest clue I can give to everyone else. But there's a good mix of whiskies tonight. Garth, I just trusted my gut and I reckon I got 0 out of 10. Mate, you will be pleasantly surprised. Facebook user who's anonymous, no. Chris is using SurveyMonkey. Actually doesn't allow multiples, and if you try and mask your IP or do something silly, then obviously Chris has his ways to detect multiple entries. So just 1 submission each, please. All right, who else we got here? Team Law for the win. I love that name, mate. Matthew Law, congrats, mate. We'll see you shortly. All right, let's kick off whiskey number 2 whilst Chris starts the judging. I will start the timer. Again, get your whiskies out. The link, I'll put it up, but it will be pretty self-explanatory. It's the same link throughout. It's just the numbers change at the end. So surveymonkey.com/RMUWC2. And we'll continue on. But let's kick off with 10 minutes. Come on. And we are running. All right, whiskey number 2. What are we getting on the nose?
I can't open my bottle. Help.
Childproof.
They make them childproof, yeah. They make them childproof. I will say, they're good for if you put a bit of bitters in it, if you want to just carry around a small bit of bitters with you.
Oh.
Not that anyone really does that.
In case you need like a panic lemon lime bitters,
yeah, you never know when you need an emergency lemon lime bitters or an emergency old fashioned.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Andre, I'm going to address this comment from last year. The panel were adamant. I don't remember which round it was. They're like, "Oh, this is definitely a Japanese or something like that," or it was an Irish, and the bottle that ended up being was the Cheetah. It was a fairly new bottle, and it kind of threw all the panelists off because it was fairly new in market. Obviously, been around for a few months, but yeah, we're here to hopefully. They're experts and they've done their whiskey before, but they're not. They have no idea what we're drinking tonight, just like at you at home. So, if we're all saying Irish, we can't guarantee that they're right. Maybe their nose is completely off, and we've got a 3 for 3 off, and their team is going to lose.
It's also real.
I love that. She doesn't even go here. You totally do. You drink enough. It's fine.
I'm not an expert.
It's also really easy when someone starts saying like, Emma said like it's either Irish or Japanese, and then immediately my brain disregarded lots of other options. So it's like once you get talking as well, sometimes you get pigeonholed in the wrong area, and you look like a bit of a clown. But that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Oh.
This one's pretty weird.
It's like have you ever had Jolly Ranchers? Like apple Jolly Ranchers? They're just like hard toffee, totally artificially flavored candies from America. They're great. I think there's other flavors, but I don't know any other than apple.
Yeah, I get that like artificial apple.
Yeah.
This one's interesting. It's so spicy.
Who is that?
Like,
I can't see the name.
No idea. You should never trust me. That's a bad choice.
Well, I do enjoy this comment. Matthew, I'm going to give you a on-the-spot prize for actually commenting on the quality of the whiskey. You're enjoying it. Everyone else is kind of making fun and banter, and you've actually, first one of the night to say this is actually quite pleasant and drinkable. So, mate, we'll send you a message or reach out to us, and we'll organise a little prize for you. Thank you for that one.
So what Ollie's saying is we love flattery. Yep.
I don't think I've had this one before.
I don't know what's wrong with your pigeons, but yeah.
I mean, it's the most efficient way of delivery nowadays.
That is very true. Announcing the whiskey list is shipping all bottles via pigeons now, and for the larger casks, we'll use wedge-tailed eagles.
Oh,
no, just what's the airspeed velocity of an African swallow laden with a coconut?
two swallows with a bit of string in between.
Great.
Aberlour.
Mate, visit this link, streamyard.com/Facebook, and then click the accept button, and the software that we're using for this live stream will just identify your Facebook name. It's a bit cumbersome and backwards, but that's just how technology works in weird Facebook land. So streamyard.com/Facebook, hit accept, and that will get your name in the feed.
Other than it being nice, guys, any other comments? Cask type? Is this one still a blend? Are we still on the blends? Is it a single malt? Is it a blended malt?
this is so spicy. I wonder if it is like a sherry, like this a bit of sherry there because of the spice and of the color. Can I say color?
Yeah, I think like the color and like, yeah, when you get that spiciness, it's sort of, that always is like, is it like a virgin? Is there virgin oak on it? Because virgin oak always has that like really green sapling kind of spiciness to it.
I'm not really getting a lot of sapling, but it does like taste hot and then quite thin. I don't know. Is anyone else getting sapling?
Irina, one of the very common traits of a whiskey being hot is simply because it's of higher ABV.
Oh. Is that a clue?
Just be super boozy.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm going off what you've just described, and that you're usually from tastings correlates to a higher ABV whiskey. If it's quite hot, might need a couple of drops of water to kind of bring it down a bit. In which case, it could be a cask strength or a sort of a more sort of unique bottling. I don't know. I'm just going off what you just said, so I'm trying to connect the dots here.
Bottling, eh? 4 minutes left. Oh no.
Ollie doesn't know what these whiskies are either. He might. It's a while since he saw them, but he doesn't know what the order is. He might know kind of what they are, but he doesn't know either.
This one I have no idea. Honestly, I'm pretty stumped with this one.
Well, what do you think it isn't then, Sasha?
I was thinking like, yeah,
So eliminate even the type.
It's not a heavily peated Scottish whiskey.
I don't feel like it's Aussie because it has that like spice, but it's not like that kind of chewy spice that you get with Aussie whiskey. Does that make sense?
I thought it could be like small format casks potentially, but like I don't know.
What are the distilleries that use small casks?
Australian distilleries. Can we be shady?
Well, surely we can break it down. Is this like a very what's the color first of all? Is it light or dark?
It's it's light, but it has a tinge of the orangey in it.
All right, so
I don't know why I'm doing those fingers.
So it's probably maybe a bourbon ex-American oak cask. It's probably not a dark sherry or a dark ex-wine cask. It's maybe working backwards from there. As if you were to kind of approach it. Question number 2 is is it a single malt or is it like a pot still or is it a grain or a bourbon or a rye? What are you tasting?
I didn't even think of rye.
Oh no.
Oh, it's definitely.
Emma, what are you getting?
Spicy enough to be one.
I'm getting like I'm like leaning towards that like little bit of unmalted barley thing to it, which obviously is like predominantly Irish, but it's like I don't know. It's very chewy with those like high note spices, if that makes sense. You know, when like a whiskey sits in different levels in your mouth. Like this is like one of those high whiskeys.
So is it American, you reckon? Yes or no? High probability.
Nah, I don't think it has that like oakiness that you get off of most American whiskeys. I would say it's somewhere in Europe because like my brain's now just like there's those like really light style French whiskeys and stuff like that. But yeah, maybe
it's got like going back to it for the 4th time. The nose is opened up to a lot of like very typical Virgin American oak nose, like notes, like big like cream and coconut and kind of that sort of thing, which has made what I was thinking almost impossible. So I'm not sure, but yeah, it's got a lot of ex-bourbon or virgin oak.
Yeah, I'm definitely set on ex-bourbon. That's what I'm committing to on that. But yeah, I don't know.
With 30 seconds to go, Sasha, any random picks for this one, distillery and whiskey?
No.
Okay.
No,
Emma?
I have nothing.
I don't know. I want to say like Green Spot or something like that.
Australian rye. It's Australian rye.
That's the same.
Well, Green Spot, for those who don't know, is an Irish whiskey. So there's something in that. And might give everyone, again, just a quick 30 seconds to put your final submissions in. Irina, any guesses for your whiskey?
I don't know. I've got no idea. I was going to ask Jacob Hosking if it was a rye because he's drunk all the ryes.
Apparently he's coming last, so maybe not.
There was a comment on earlier, can we take some time in between the rounds to open your bottles? So now's the time to open whiskey number 3. And let's talk about some of the comments that are coming in. So Jacob is taking the shotgun approach. I guess something different for every option. And eventually, you might... Do you take that approach at the casinos, mate, or the pokies? I don't know if it works, but... Garth is saying super hard tonight, mate. It was hard last year as well. Like we said, last year's winner, Chipper from Melbourne, he got 30 out of 60. So you can see that a lot of people got 20 to mid-20s and a few in the high 20s. But yeah, it's fairly decent.
If Garth said it was hard, I don't feel too bad then.
There you go. It's not what I said, but I had nothing. Obviously, a lie. I had whiskey. Oh, there you go. Whiskey, my dram. We're on whiskey number 2. Hopefully, you got that in time for your submission. Let's look at the results from the previous round. So, who's leading is Glenn DeMark. Hopefully, that's someone actually playing today, not just randomly submitting from the internet. Mate, that's with 6 points. So 6 out of 10 is a bloody good effort. So congrats. Hopefully it's an individual or a team. Glenn DeMark, well done. And Jacob Hosking's team, unfortunately, I don't know, you might sound like you're not doing too well, mate. So hopefully your shotgun approach needs a little bit of work there.
Yeah. Statistically, dicey.
So, not easy. And number 2 is definitely Whiskey Owen. Mate, no prize for that one because obviously everyone's drinking whiskey tonight, but fair attempt. Keep going. All right, let's kick off with whiskey number 3. Same link as last time. surveymonkey.com/RMUWC3. I will start the timer. There we go. Timer
Historically, after all these tastings, Whiskey's My Jam, is that after the third whiskey, taking the leak protector drippulator cap out of the bottles becomes a lot harder. But yes, teeth definitely work.
I like that tip. There you go.
I have a very strong reaction to this whiskey, and I think in my head this is the first one that I'm like, I actually think I know what this whiskey is.
What is it?
No, I'm going to wait till the end.
Oh.
I think we should talk about the flavors.
He's going to change his mind halfway through.
No, I will send a message to Emma right now of what I think it is.
Jenny, if over 100 people get the wooden spoon, that's obviously going to be a bit of a logistical nightmare. But if one person gets 0 points and everyone else gets at least 1, then that one person, we might organize something for it. That's kind of my promise here, just to kind of mix it up. So maybe Garth or Jacob at home, if you're going for the wooden spoon, there's something in it there.
The chances are, if you're actually aiming for it, you won't get it.
It's like biscuity, but it also kind of smells like flat lemonade.
I wonder. I think I've had this one before. And I feel like it's something in my Australian box. Just can't find it.
All right, well, we've got 2 suggestions there. So wherever Irina is, or there you are, we got a potential Aussie whiskey. Sasha's saying Scottish.
No,
Emma.
I think it's Australian.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it's Australian for sure. It's got that like that chewy spiciness thing to it. I don't know what I'm doing with my hand, but chewy spiciness.
Well, out of all the whiskeys so far, the comments are coming through. It's obviously familiar to people. So, when we sat down and planned this tasting, we said we definitely need one whiskey that we're hoping everyone sort of had this year. So, this might be that one. I don't know the order, so. Alba whiskey, rum. Where it's just a whiskey tasting, mate. It could be a rum cask. Could be a rum cask. We do have a category for special finishes, so maybe there's something in that as well. I don't know.
I'm just slightly concerned about Jenny's interesting groundskeeper
tasting notes. Yep.
Very specific that she's actually spelt Willie's armpit.
Look, it's a great tasting note. Owen's suggesting upshot. Jacob, I'm about to actually pour this whiskey for myself. I have no idea if it's in the tasting or not. I just am enjoying this whiskey at the moment, the new STARWARD Octave. So who knows?
I don't think it's a STARWARD because it's not banana-y enough.
I don't believe it's Starward. I do know the some of the people competing tonight are the Starward blending team. So shout out to Jared and Carly.
Yeah.
But it has to be
They can
something that
confirm.
everyone can get.
So there's 6 minutes remaining, and Chris has just joined. Welcome, Chris.
Oh,
hey. You guys hear me?
Sorry for putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I'm
Data
just in
guy.
spreadsheet. Yeah.
All right. Well, he's busy judging
stuck in
the
spreadsheets.
previous round. But give me a wave when you're ready
Wow.
to talk about the next round's previous winner.
Cool. Can you hear me okay?
Hello, Carly.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Yes, I can.
Nice.
All right, I'm just going to hide you for now. Bye, Chris. Carly says definitely not a Starward. Well, there you go. You said they were on the Starward
She would
team?
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
one of
the blenders at Starward.
Yeah.
So if anyone's going to know what a Starward is, it's probably her.
Yeah. Certified Starward experts. Yes.
Yeah, true experts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, let's...
Yeah.
Oh, what are the other
Kinda
Australian
musty.
distilleries? I really think it's an Australian though.
Did I, Emma, with the message I sent you, did I get the distillery correct?
No.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Why are you
I
telling Emma
know.
the answers?
He's
No, it's
asking
just-
questions.
Hey,
You can message me.
Yeah.
yeah, Emma.
I thought so. I thought it was an Archie Rose whiskey, because they've done some stuff with chocolate malt, and that's one of the notes that I was getting was some kind of chocolate malt. But it turns out it is not.
It's not like burnt enough. I don't know if anyone here has tasted the Jacaranda Jam SMWS one, which was like just like because that chocolate malt can ear towards like shoe polish leathery vibes. Just not always bad. It's pretty good sometimes.
I feel it's
and I'm just not. This is just dusty. Like
Dusty. Yes.
dusty.
I get dusty. I think it's not sour. It sounds like it's not sour enough to be Archie.
Yeah, it's like those like vintage cabinets. You just like stick your head in an old like Greek. Sasha knows what I'm talking about. Old Greek vintage cabinet.
Yasu, Dikanis.
What's this Sullivans Cove? Do you reckon they gave us like a Sullivan's tawny cask? That would be pretty awesome.
Yes, Paul. We bought everyone
you.
$1,000 whiskey, and we won the ballots. And
These are
this is
limited
the best chance ever.
Yeah.
I highly doubt there's a Sullivan's Cove in it because we kind of again wanted this to be kind of accessible to everyone, and as good as their whiskey is, it's in such demand we can't even get our hands on it. So the link up again. We are on number 3. There we go.
I think I think there's a high probability it's something like 78 degrees.
Oh.
After
I did have 78 degrees a couple of weeks ago at the breakout session. Let me try again.
And then there's also like 23rd Street Distillery as well, which has like similar kind of vibes.
Yeah,
that one's a little bit more. Sounds terrible, but like their whiskey has like this juniper thing to it because I think they make it on the same still. So like.
Oh really?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh.
Overeem.
Either that or there was
Overeem.
Overeem's a good call.
What about Headlands? Does Headlands do like I really think it's like that tawny cask. I'm still stuck on that.
So Headlands do
Wine
an Imperial
cask?
cask.
Yeah, there's a like bit of X wine, but like old X wine, like not fresh. Yeah.
Not hot enough. There you go.
Oh.
You know what you mean. It's definitely like feels like a lower ABV whiskey. So like how many, that narrows it down a bit.
Well, yeah, no, it does. It really does. Because like there are so many like cask strength Australian releases. Like,
Yeah. It's like what's something like
approachable.
And I can say if it is an Australian whiskey, if a big if, we haven't just bought a release that's like one of 30 bottles and that's it. And again, it needs to be like widely available online to buy. Someone has to be selling it online. Is the important thing about this. So yeah, if it's something that's sold out in 30 seconds, there's only 30 bottles available, it won't be in this competition.
So like low ABV, easily accessible, which would mean core range. So like that like limits it down a lot as well.
It could be high ABV. Are you getting a low ABV on this?
I am. Yeah, I'm not getting. I mean, it drinks like water, so for me that's usually an indicator it's sub 45%.
20 seconds remaining.
Oh no, I haven't put it in yet.
Quickly.
Oh, I don't know. I can't figure out the distillery. Okay. Okay. I just clicked submit.
Again, we'll give you a bonus 30 seconds to
It's just
the economy is bad when Santa has to work 2 jobs. This is the weirdest time in the world, honestly.
Wait! You didn't set these memes?
Oh, that's just coming up at the end of these timers.
Yep.
That makes it even weirder. It's the best.
I have no idea what's going to be displayed.
I wonder if they like change it thematically. It's been the same meme the last few times. I wonder if like they do like Thanksgiving memes and like Halloween memes, you know?
Yeah.
But also like, what was it? I blinked and it was like, oh yeah, Christmas is like less than 2 weeks away.
Oh man. Let's keep the chat to like not terrifying topics.
Let's talk about climate change then.
Yeah.
Andre, confidence is a good thing, mate. You definitely, I think, are going to go in strong with this one. But let's review the previous round. Chris, who did well in round 2?
Look, Garth, despite your lack of confidence in the space, you did pretty well, actually. You came out on top. No one got the whiskey or even the distillery, and even the country and the type were actually pretty difficult. So that was a pretty rough round. So well done, Garth. Oh, and yeah, Jacob, you definitely came last again.
It's not on purpose, we swear.
Love it. All right. Time to open up whiskey number 4. If you haven't realized, and the caps are getting hard, if you're like, whiskey is my jam, and I think using this teeth, otherwise a small butter knife helps as well to open it. But usually by the end of 6 whiskeys, you become an expert of opening David's sample bottles. And then you forget for the next tasting, you have to learn it all over again.
Just did my nails as well. My nails are going to be ruined from this. Oh.
But was it owned by Pernod? What, the last round, Jacob? Mate, does Pernod own any Aussie whiskey? Like, if we're all saying Aussie whiskey, come on, your guesses are all over the place.
I think he might have been talking about whiskey number 2, eh?
See number 2.
Who knows?
I like... Yeah. Pernod bought up a few Irish distilleries, didn't they, for a while?
All right. Hopefully everyone has whiskey number 4 poured. Let's get ready. I will start the timer again. And we are rolling. Good luck, round 4. Same link as before, just the number changes to number 4.
This smells nice.
I have no idea, Jacob, what the round 2 whiskey was or who it was owned by, but we will find out at the end, and then you can celebrate if you were correct. Garth, we're all professionals here. We're all expert whiskey drinkers at home. We love our whiskey and we enjoy many whiskeys. I think we're all qualified So yeah, well done, mate, for winning that previous round.
This one I'm into more, which means it must be Scottish. Just gotten like
Garth's comment, the famous sporting the golfing quote. I think it was Gary Player that said the more he practices, the luckier he gets.
Yeah.
Feel free to mute us. You're gonna miss these amazing tasting notes, though.
Oh, sorry. I'm really thinking it's like it's very I think this is a sherry cask because it's got that sherry spice, and it's like an all-rounded nice whiskey. So does that mean it could be a blend because it's like just nice?
I have been super into Scottish blends recently. Just frothing like small, cool ones, but like I don't think the only like Scottish blends that are not terrible are expensive, I think.
I love these combination of these two comments. So Stuart goes, smells like a Glen something, and Jenny retaliates with smells like a Glen nothing.
Yeah.
There you go. I agree, sherry cask. And mate, you've been practicing your entire adult life, I imagine, and then some. So, you're definitely qualified for this. If you haven't jumped on the... He does. If you haven't jumped on the link yet, surveymonkey.com/r/MUWC number 4. We are on whiskey number 4.
It's like a nice... Yeah, I'd go with what people are saying, like from the Highlands or Speyside. Wait, are people saying that, or are they just saying Glen everything? Because it's just, there's nothing. It's not funky. It's not peaty. It's not smoky. It's not grassy.
But it's not like super sweet. It's got that like sweetness, which makes me think like a bit of sherry casking, but it's not super sweet, which tells me it's like one of those distilleries that has that like funky fermenty note to it. Because like because you can get those distilleries that just have that like sulfurous kind of quality to them, which sounds terrible. But
so not a Linkwood, not a Macallan, not like an old Glendronach.
Yeah, I think
you're
right with sherry. I definitely get those
fruity.
I definitely get like the sulfurous notes. Yeah, this is a tricky one. You've been awfully quiet, David. Have you replaced yourself with a cutout or something?
A reasonable facsimile, yes.
Yeah.
You just keep them around for the background.
Just listening to Irina's kind of explanation of what she thinks it is. It's I think the word that you might be looking for is inoffensive.
Yeah. But I thought the word inoffensive is offensive.
It is. It's the ultimate insult. It's like calling somebody harmless.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a euphemism for boring, right?
I'm not saying this is a boring whiskey, but no whiskey is boring. They've all got something. They've all got their own personality.
Now, okay, hold on. Come on. You don't truly believe that, do you?
Of course not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
I've noticed when watching a lot of brand ambassadors try, especially other whiskies, they always say this is a unique whiskey, and they just don't continue commenting afterwards. And they're like, it's very diplomatic, and I appreciate them for doing that, but
it's like so unique. Yeah,
I used to always talk about how the whiskey fills a useful hole in the market. If I didn't like whiskey from other brands, I'd be like, oh yeah, I can definitely see where this whiskey fits into the grand scheme of whiskey.
Yeah. But then sometimes you get those people who are like, our whiskey's unique. And I'm like, it's a code word for expensive as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over my budget.
Jenny, really, really good question. I've been buying all the latest STARWARDs. Out of all the recent releases, this is definitely my favorite. The wine cask just integrates with the spirit quite uniquely. And yeah, I actually don't know too much about this one. Apart, it says 100 Barossa Shiraz, 100-litre octave barrels, 48% filled 2018, bottled 2001, made in Australia. I know there's some starred people on the link on the line, so maybe there's a link if there's any others to buy. I don't know. I jump on all the releases as quickly as possible because they all go pretty quickly. And yeah, this is my favorite out of the recent ones by far. It's just super sessionable. Sorry for that ad. In an ad, we just talking about good whiskey here. So
those 100-litre red wine barrels were notoriously good. And there weren't many of them, and I'm not sure if they've managed to get more. But they produced just such good whiskey. Like for years, we were tapping those bottles for like little single things for events and whatnot. They were very good.
We have 3 minutes remaining. One thing I just noticed that we haven't talked about, so we've talked about blends, we've talked about potentially different grains and single malts and all that. We haven't talked about age statements today at all.
I reckon it's a minimum 12.
From Scotland.
On what
Yes,
basis,
from Scotland.
Arena?
Because it's inoffensive.
It's
not spicy. I don't know. I can't.
Color, but roundness. No, I get what you mean. It's got that rounded character to it, where it's like it's not overtly complex. Because like really young whiskeys and really old whiskeys can be like super super complex, whereas this is like that 12 to 15 kind of age range where it's just like it's just appealing.
Like I feel like I can only tell the ages on like on a Glen Scotia or like on an Isla. Like I can tell a difference because you can feel it just taper out if it gets older. But like with the Highlands or Speyside, like the only way I can tell if something is older is, let's say, like if it's been fully matured in sherry and it starts to get almost musty or almost like thin towards the end.
Yeah,
I'm stumped
like really
on this
leathery
one.
and whatnot. Yeah, I think like that sulfur note to me tells me that it's more like, because I don't get that off a lot of Highland distilleries, so I feel like it's Speyside, because there's a few Speyside distilleries that have that like sulfury thing to it, like.
It could be. Yeah. It could be cask sulfur though.
It could be, but like I feel like because it's a well integrated sulfur, and like oftentimes with cask sulfur, it's just like ugh. You can tell the difference.
Does the Belveni do any? Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, with 1 minute remaining, can we just go around the room quickly and give a guess of the distillery and maybe even the bottle itself? Emma, first.
Well, my brain is jumping between all the sulfurous distilleries I know, which is like Benrinnes, Altmore, Craigellachie, Mortlock, those kind of like funky, fruity shenanigans. So I don't know, maybe Altmore, because Altmore is that funkiness. Very funky. And they do. Oh, no, you don't really get Altmore's. It does taste like foggy moss. Oh! Maybe like Craigellachie 13 or something like that.
Okay, good guess. I like it. Very specific and potentially useful information there, Sasha.
I haven't thought of a distillery hasn't come to mind, but like Highland blended, 12 years old, a little bit of sherry, maybe like definitely ex-bourbon, unpeated. It could be a Glenlivet of some kind.
Ooh.
Okay, we'll give everyone.
Arena's gonna
30
open
seconds.
up her Glenlivet and double check. Not again. You can't pull that shit again.
I can't cheat.
Irina, what's your guess? As everyone's putting their last submissions
I thought maybe a Macallan 12, because I said it had to be 12 years old, so I better stick to it. Macallan 12, sherry oak.
I
whatever it's
do
called.
like, and I appreciate at the beginning where, like, as we go along, we have more whiskeys. The confidence is increasing. I don't know if that's just the alcohol. I don't know. There's something in that. Hopefully,
Yeah. It's like beer goggles, but with whiskey and
Yeah.
confidence. Yeah.
All right. Well, open up whiskey number 5 in this short little break. Have a glass of water. I think now is a good time for a water break. I wish I had a slide
Fine.
ready that says
Ooh.
water, 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 but this is your official warning. Please drink some water.
Went down the wrong path.
Oh, God.
Irina,
help?
don't
Does that
drink
help
the
you,
water.
Irina?
Sorry, I should have muted that.
Don't do it the way Irina drinks.
You think that you can't take me anywhere. I can't even drink at home. Gosh. You just need a sippy
Awesome.
cup next time.
Chris,
Yeah.
any luck with round number 3? How do we go with that?
Yeah, look, that was by far the best round so far. We actually had 2 tenors.
What?
Mm.
I was
Yeah.
totally one of them, wasn't I?
Are you part of this? Oh,
Yeah.
You're not
But
guessing.
disqualified.
I
She's just
am.
guessing. She's just guessing.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't know what your answers
Aren't they
are.
all just
so
guessing, Ollie?
You're already disqualified. Andreas and Jonathan absolutely nailed it. So well done to everyone. Actually, that was a really good round.
Good job.
Just
Yeah.
going to go back. Who said they were super confident? Where the hell's that comment? You guys?
I think it was.
Mate, you said you're going to get 0 out of 10, and Chris, you're saying he got 10 out of 10.
Oof.
I
Is that
feel
right?
like that's the secret of winning. I just have to say, I don't know what I'm drinking, and I'll get everything right. Watch me. Oh, I don't know what this is.
Next minute, Andreas is going to get 1,000 Facebook messages going, what did you guess?
What was it? Tell me your secrets.
You get a lot of friend requests.
Yeah.
I'm just very interested to find out what all of these are. This is such a fun experience.
Can we
And-
do this like every month?
Maybe, Irina. Maybe
Yeah.
onto
Like a
something.
training almost.
Chris,
Yeah.
Like Rocky training.
Yeah.
Could you
Chris,
guys
Just put
could
Eye
you
of the
guys send me
Tiger on and
whiskey
drink
every
this.
month, please?
Pretty sure there are already companies that do that.
any wooden spoons in that round, Chris?
Any what?
Anyone who came last?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I did see. Dang, poor Jacob. At the bottom of the game, 0 points. Jeez.
Is you just saying rye for every answer? Is that why?
Probably.
It's rye. It's rye. It's rye.
It's
That's rye.
just going to guess the same one whiskey over and over again.
Every answer is a bribe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's start the next round. Really good timing. I will start our little link there. We are up to the 5th round, I believe. Yes. And let's get the clock going.
I reckon that the winner is going to be around about 40 points this year.
Because we've had
Ooh.
nothing else to
think-
do but sit and drink in our
I
houses.
think people have been training. They've been training hard for a year.
Lovely.
Yeah, this
peachy
is-
one.
This is my kind of group of people who refer to drinking as training.
All we need
Training
is
hard.
some,
You're sitting on the couch. You're sitting on the couch, David. You're doing nothing.
No, well, it's research, and every sip is a tax deduction, as you know.
That's true. That's a good point.
Is it useful if we submit, like, everyone who participates gets a little certificate saying, I like when you compete in the mud runner or whatever it's called, the T-shirt saying I was a participant, and we can we all competed and training for next year's whiskey.
Yeah.
We should send out little ribbons, like participation ribbons.
Yes, like you used to get at school marathon days and sports
Most
days.
improved.
Yeah, the only ribbons I got at athletics day. Participation ribbons.
Yeah. Same here.
Jacob likes Tom, yes please. Good on you, mate. Jenny, it tastes like brown. Is it brown? What's the color of this whiskey?
It is. It is. I don't know, like a sunset.
Like
I
It's
don't
got,
know.
like-
What is this color?
You sound like a TV ad.
It's like a
It's like happiness.
coppery caramel.
So Garth, step one is yes, if you've had this whiskey, great, but can you name it? What else we got here?
I love how smoky and clean it is.
it has
Like-
it has like a gentle hickory note, which I really enjoy in some peated whiskies.
It's
Now,
a good call. It's like a
we
little
have-
bit salty as well, but not.
this is the first time peat and smoke is mentioned tonight. Can we unpack that a little bit more? Because why are we all nodding? I'm not tasting it, so I don't know. Is it a smoky or peated whiskey? Is that like an obvious thing or non-obvious? Or
I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah, it's just that like salty smoke situation, like when you stand too close to the fire at a barbecue.
Yeah, I would be shocked if this was somehow not peated.
It's
Alright,
so
well-
gentle. It's like it's not medicinal. It's not too sooty. Could it even be like a Highland peat, like an Ardmore, or
Ardmore's
a
super
clean...
buttery though. Like I always taste like butter on toast with Ardmore, whereas like this is a little bit more fruity
Garth.
and oceanic, if that makes sense.
what are these 2 out of 3 distilleries? Or are you saying 2/3 of our distillery?
Yeah.
Okay, so just to recap, because you all sound pretty confident, it smells smoky and peaty. We're getting some sort of island notes. So are we confident this is an Islay whiskey in Scotland? Is this what people were saying or something else?
I'm not confident that it's from Islay.
Yeah. Like
I'm cheating.
I
Sorry.
mean, you just smelling other bottles. Check. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. From the island of Mull. Well, if it was a Lecheg, I would know right away because I drink more of that stuff than like anybody in the. I love it. Yeah. So like, because
What are the
Lecheg
what
has
are
that
the
creaminess to it.
what are the types of lechegs? I remember there was a blue bottle and like an orange one.
Yeah, well, because like the Lecheg 10-year-old is like the core one, but then we just brought in the new Sinclair, but that tastes like burnt rose petals, and this doesn't have that like floral thing. This has that like fruit smoke and almost like seaweedy as well.
Hashtag
Yeah.
not a Lecheg. You heard it here first. So let's unpack this a little bit more. So we're all confidently saying it's peaty. That's good. Are we saying it's Scottish peat or another country peat?
Oh, more Spanish.
I think it's a Scottish peat. Okay, so this is tricky because Australia imports. Don't they import like peated barley from?
Yeah, some of them do, and like Paul John Distillery in India gets their barley peated in Aberdeen as well.
I don't.
But, like
I don't
Indian
thi-
whiskies
I
are
don't-
more like grilled pineapple.
I don't think it tastes
So I
like
don't think
a warm climate. Like it doesn't. The barrel interaction's not
doesn't
as
have that
aggressive.
heat.
And I think it's a cool climate. I think it's Scottish, but I think I've been wrong every time.
It's not the
Garth
Sinclair.
makes a very good point. The Sinclair is pink. If you pour it in a wine glass, it looks like a very normal glass of rosé. Just saying.
I had a bottle somewhere behind me.
I would say it's one of the islands. I would be inclined to say it's one of the islands, Sinclair's. So
Is it the same color?
I know that I'm biased. Like,
It's not. It's not the same
No,
color. It's got a
it's
reddish
not.
hue.
Oh,
no, like you can
That
tell the
whiskey-
Sinclair because it just looks like rosé.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emma showed me that whiskey the other day at the venue, and if you all haven't bought that whiskey yet, buy that whiskey. It's fucking excellent.
Yeah, I need to work on getting a case for myself just to have it.
Ollie said no profanities, so Sasha
sorry,
should
Ollie.
have -1 point. Yeah.
Sasha's not playing. Sasha already has negative as many points as you want to give me.
No, I said no profanity in the team names because we have to talk about this in the media afterwards, and that makes it a little bit tricky. But online, this is an 18-only event. I was going to say go ballistic,
there's no
but
kids
don't.
on YouTube, don't you know?
Yeah. Why are you coming after me so hard, Irina? What's up?
Because you told Emma
You wanna
answers,
go?
you didn't tell me. Yes.
All right. Well, we got a peated Irish.
I think it's something. Yeah, Connemara is super like dirty though, which sounds terrible, but it's a good thing. Connemara is super dirty. Like
Connemara is boggy. It tastes boggy.
But this
Guys,
is
once
like
you got past the peat, what about the cask?
I think it's
you know,
sherry.
like there was
I
that.
can't tell.
There was like that Aaron Macremore or Macklemore. I don't know.
Macklemore.
Screw it. Gaelic is hard. Just make fun and use whatever. Yeah. So I feel like it's an island, not Isla smoke. But I think they discontinued the Macremore, didn't they?
That was
Yeah, it's been
more
replaced
baked,
with a new distillery they built.
Wolfman?
Yeah, lag. Which
Start getting your answers in.
I think it tastes like sherry cask Kalila. Is my gut.
Oh.
Is there a
I've got a
sherry cask
Kalila.
Kalila that's 4?
I've only got a Kalila 12. Is that the same?
So, for those at home playing,
It's a bit more sherry.
maybe let's quickly go through some of the most commonly used casks type. I think that's kind of what David was hinting at. So we've obviously got ex-American oak bourbon. You got your sherry casks. We've got, what else is there? There's port casks. We've got rum casks, some of the more special finishes. So there's a whole good mix there. Obviously, what I saw in that little sample we just held up, Irina, was a slightly darker color. So we obviously could have an ex-wine cask. Sounds like the group consensus online here is it's fortified. So, there's something in there, possibly. We have TikTok, get your answers in.
Think quicker, Sasha, think quicker.
No, it's also reminiscent of some of the Ben Romack cask series.
Oh.
Yeah, the Peat Smoke was a limited edition one, the sherry cask.
Well, yeah, they did that Sassicaia cask whiskey, which was dope.
Oh, I didn't even think of Ben Romack.
Yeah.
Oh, it really, yeah.
But they revamped and did a I don't know. I'm going
totally
something
wrong on
island.
this.
Yeah,
something
I still think
fortified wine.
Isla fortified wine.
Chris, just so we keep the final winner a little bit exciting, don't tell us who did well, just how many, if anyone got really good high scores in the previous rounds moving forward.
Right, yeah, okay. Who did awesome? Someone called Sneaky Nuts. All right.
Yes. I love that.
They did really, really well. It was actually a pretty solid round. Not quite as good as the Morris round, but and on this one there was one clear winner of the round. There wasn't. Actually, no, someone came kind of close as well. Smells like teen whiskey spirit.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Right.
I'll pay that.
Nirvana spirit.
Chris, in terms of the data, can we extract a most improved, somebody that did really well this year and really badly last year? Because I think they would deserve a prize at least.
That'll be great.
And
can we check at the end?
Look, if we had that kind of data, like we actually cared enough, then maybe. And if people didn't make up team names like Sneaky Nuts, because I doubt that was their name last time.
Can we also track the other direction and see who has decayed the most over the last year?
Well, look, it's a great segue because unfortunately, I do have to report again that Mr. Jacob Hosking has come in last place. I don't even know how this
That's
happens.
the problem, Jacob.
5 points.
When you just drink American whiskey, you lose all your other senses. Gotta get you on some other stuff as well, mate.
Well, I guess it's like Cardrona, then I don't know whose sources are.
So this is going to go over in two ways, Chris. Jacob is either going to win, or next year is going to be like Rocky and train harder than ever, and he's going to dominate next year.
Just do like a bourbon and rye only competition. That'd be crazy hard to do, I reckon.
But you have to be like happy only, because that's like the only whiskey he actually drinks.
All right,
anytime he's in a tasting, it's just going to blast Eye of the Tiger.
We do have to keep going. So let's pour whiskey number 6. I'll start the clock shortly. From now on, we won't say which team is winning, just so we can keep the final winners under wrap. But yeah, whiskey is my jam. I'm least improved, third last year, terrible this year. Mate, you don't know. These last 3 rounds could be a game changer. But this is
fun.
All right. Well, it sounds like we're getting into it. Let me start the timer, and let's then start talking about this whiskey.
I feel like I've never met Jacob before, but I feel like this might be one for Jacob.
Oh. Yeah, it's got a bit of a rye nose.
I believe in you. I believe in you, Jacob.
It's got that, it's definitely got that pickle thing with pink marshmallows that tells me it's American.
Can I just highlight the love in our wonderful community, not only online, but with the love is being shared all around for Jacob at the moment.
We're picking on him. Everyone's coming to support. We're bad humans,
you can do
I
this
know.
last one.
Yeah. Maybe a double or nothing for Jacob on this last one.
Chris, if people guessing Glen or Ben and get the rest of the distillery name wrong, is that 1 point or half a point?
Not a chance.
Being ruthless? No. All right.
No way. Yeah, look, if there's an actual good answer, yeah. But look, Glen Ben McManus is not going to get a good answer.
I hear they're doing great things though. Glen Ben McManus.
Oh man.
I forgot to put up the link. It's the same as all the others with a 6 on the end. So surveymonkey.com/r/MUWC6 if you haven't caught that on yet. Final round whiskey. This could be the game changer. What are we getting on the nose or the taste? You said there's something unique. I missed it before. Can someone talk me through it?
Still pickles.
I think, it's got that classic thing that you get with rye whiskey, where you get some like dill pickles, bergamot, those sorts of like rye whiskey flavors. This definitely has a high proportion of rye. I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah. It's got that cola syrup thing as well.
Yeah,
like the actual cola nut. Yeah.
Past that, it's pretty. I don't know, it's pretty good. It's just really delicious. I'm really enjoying this one.
If I write MVP, do I get points for it? NGP. Do I get points for it?
MGP.
Well, one of them you might, but one you won't.
Oh. Okay.
Can you explain for those at home what MGP is, Irina, now that you've mentioned it?
I know the pressure's on. I cannot. So, but it's a it's like this place that makes a lot of spirits that doesn't taste like anything. It's just I'm not a whiskey person, okay?
It's kind of like it's like the American version of Middleton Distillery, because Middleton Distillery makes Jamisons and Redbreast and Green Spot and Yellow Spot and all that kind of stuff. So it's like one of those distilleries that makes a lot of whiskey for other people to age, kind of, I think.
And then
Would
they
be the
put it
best
in like
description.
warehouses, and then these people like pick it from like, oh, I want this one at the top, and I'm gonna sell it for like 10 times more than this one over here on the side. And they put it under different labels. Did we do good? Is that it?
Very good. Very good. I love it.
I can totally be a
lot of
brown
like
rat now.
Basically, what we're
because like
saying
MGP
is
supplies,
that there's apparently 1,000 craft distilleries in America now, and MGP apparently supplies over half of those 1,000 new distilleries in terms of providing spirits. Yeah, there's obviously a lot of like new guys creating it from the ground up, but some of them don't have the time yet. It takes time to make spirit and stuff, so they'll do their first few still runs. They'll buy a barrel from MGP while they're setting up and getting some cash flow and stuff out the door, and it's fairly unregulated. The States, unlike Scotland. Obviously, there's some rules like a bourbon has to be at least 51% corn, virgin oak, etc. But there's nothing stopping distilleries from getting spirit from MGP and then labeling it as their own. But they make good spirit as well. It's not a bad thing what they're doing. It's just different.
Yeah, they've supplied some distilleries which might surprise people. But if you ever want to know everything there is about MGP, hit up Evan at Whiskey and Almec, because he is an absolute nut for American whiskey. So like he can go on and on about MGP, and he does, and it's wonderful to listen to. But
It's a really good question. Hopefully someone here knows the size of MGP, but I believe it is massive.
I think that's a Jacob Hosking question.
Finally, his knowledge comes in handy.
His time has come.
So we got less than 5 minutes to go. We've said rye, which typically would mean an American whiskey. So that's 2 out of the 5 categories. Are we pretty confident with those so far?
Yeah, I feel like it's not a Kentucky rye though, because like Kentucky ryes are much spicier. I feel like, but I'm also more of a bourbon girl, so it could just be me like tasting more rye than I'm used to.
I wasn't. I agree with you. I don't think it's Kentucky rye.
Because like Virginia rye and stuff like that is a lot softer, and it's got a lot more of that like pink marshmallowy thing to it. Which is
what are
I love Virginia ryes. So like Tuckton Creek, which we can't get in this country anymore, and I'm so sad and upset. But there's also another plug, which is Reservoir Distillery. They've got a 100% rye, and they're based in Virginia. And I think it's that like, because it's just a state across, but it absolutely makes a difference in the flavor. And I think a lot of Virginian rye distilleries source their rye locally, so like the ground that the rye is grown in changes the flavor and stuff. So, but yeah, there's quite a few Virginia ryes out there, and they're freaking good. They're so freaking good. Me saying that as a bourbon person. So yeah, whereas like I don't really tend, unless it's like New Riff Distillery, I don't really get into Kentucky ryes. So yeah.
Whiskey's my jam. I just fixed it for you. I chucked in the E as well, personally for you. So thank you for that. Yeah. I might even give you a small prize for that suggestion, because we're all inclusive here. We like our American friends and the wonderful spirits they produce. So whiskey's my jam. And smells like whiskey spirit. David, note that team down. They're getting a prize as well for that wonderful team name. I like a good music reference. You get my attention.
Mm-hmm.
I have a guess of the distillery.
Go for it, mate.
I think there's a strong case for like Michter's. I think there's a case for Michter's, one of their barrel strength ryes, or
all of my Michter's
something
ended
like
up at the bar, and I forgot to take it back, so now I don't have a Michter's to compare it to, because I used it for my cocktail.
Ooh, nice.
It's a pretty good cocktail.
2 minutes remaining.
Yeah.
Start getting your answers in.
I don't know.
Do you like it, Irina? First question.
I do. I like it a lot. Have I had this before? I have. And I don't want to go looking silly opening up my bottles again, but I can't remember what it is.
Do it. Open them.
Yeah.
Do it. Look
Crack
silly.
in. You've already done it. You broke the seal. Just make it happen.
Is that like cheating?
No, not at all. You're just using a
It's
using a
referencing.
resource.
There we go.
Oh,
Exactly.
don't make me big. Oh,
Don't
1
make
minute
me big.
remaining.
oh!
One-
I've only got a minute to drink everything.
You could just smell it.
Do you
You
reckon
don't have
it's this?
to drink everything.
Is this? Oh no, that's a single
Eagle
barrel.
Rare.
So hang on.
Mm.
Do you reckon it's an Eagle Rare?
No.
No, I don't like Eagle Rare, and I like this.
Why don't
I
you
know
like
it's
Eagle
terrible
Rare?
to say.
I love Eagle Rare.
Not into it.
Forester?
I could never
Is
get into it because
Forester
it's such a
made
hard
out of
rye.
like rye?
Old Forester's a pre-prohibition style, so there would be a decent amount of rye in it.
But it's a
Yeah,
high rye. Is it? Is this one made out of rye?
Mm-mm.
Stag.
Oh.
No, Stag's a bourbon.
30
this is really.
seconds.
Oh my gosh! I don't know what it is. Help, guys!
I
Help.
like Atlas dovetail thing, but I feel like the Burrell stuff has a lot more like chewy spiciness to it.
Is it a
Yeah.
Russell's?
Seagrass is really cool. Ooh. Russell's does bourbon. Do they do rye? No, they just do bourbon. Yeah, he just does bourbon.
I'm gonna fail in this. I'm just gonna say whatever. Oh my goodness!
And
Is it a
everyone's favorite
Willet?
meme,
I Willet. I
the
love
Santa meme.
Willet.
Yeah. Last time for the Santa meme.
I'm gonna miss it, obviously.
Knob Creek is good.
No, that's not a t-shirt. That one is a bottle wrap that May got me for my birthday. It's a it's a Suntory one. Yeah.
Cool.
Why
That's
Irina's not holding t-shirts, but it looks like it priorities.
Yep.
Coca.
Yeah,
Cola,
you got to
soda
keep
cup.
all the stuff you use daily next to each other.
That's
Shirts
right.
and whiskey.
Shirts,
people
whiskey.
Whiskey in their wardrobe. I could keep wardrobe things in my.
I
Whiskey place
do keep
too.
whiskey in my wardrobe, but that's only because my husband's only made me one shelf, and as you can see,
Oh,
How
so
dare
he
he
needs to make me
only
another.
how dare he only construct you from the
I
beginning
know.
one
I know.
entire shelf? How dare he only construct one shelving unit for you?
Oh,
What a
He
bastard.
finished it. He finished it. Put it in here. I started moving my whiskeys onto it, and after 5 minutes, he was like, "I need to make another one, don't I?" Shit. But yes.
That's so
So
impressive.
the other one's going to go
man.
right there.
Good
Because you've won a
job.
prize
Convenient.
already, that's it for you, mate. But mate, that's a wonderful. I love it.
Owen's comment about Knob Creek is interesting,
Yeah.
which we'll talk
Yeah,
about a
yeah.
little later.
Before we
American
announce the
whiskeys and
winners
their names.
and the whiskey, I've deliberately kept this until the very end, and some people have asked. I think maybe people have forgotten there is a grand prize when you win it, and we always try and pick a decent, bottle. So today's grand prize, I didn't have time to make a slide, but it is the
Oi.
Ben Rinnes 21-year-old.
So pretty.
So it's a decently priced whiskey. Out of budget for most people, myself included. So this is a little gift as our wonderful sponsors have provided it. And something we're
Can I,
doing this year is whoever
underscore
comes second will get to pick one of our special new releases that we've done with the whiskey list. So either the Firkin Coahuila, the Bushmills Duro, or one of our two barrel picks from barrel, so the rye or the bourbon. So yeah, if you come second, you get a pick of one of those four. Because
Hey,
we
that's a great
like our
idea,
whiskey.
Ollie. We didn't discuss
yeah.
that. That's a really good idea.
Sometimes we do things
Surprise.
on the fly.
It's good, man. I like it.
Would you have tried harder, Jacob, if
also
you knew what
like-
the prize was?
I would have undisqualified myself if I knew what the prize was. That is an awesome whiskey. Like, awesome whiskey.
I've never
Yeah.
had it before.
So
I probably would have actually played if I knew the prize.
cool.
Maybe we can make friends with the person that wins and be like, oh, we totally helped you, so you have to invite us.
Yeah, depending on how many like right answers we gave them is how much whiskey we get from the bottle.
You get negative. You just
I feel like we had a net
You
negative
owe me
effect.
whiskey now. Yeah.
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 I feel like we had a net negative effect on everyone's guesses.
Yeah.
But hopefully a positive effect on everyone's evening.
Eh.
Right, guys?
Ooh.
Tell me you love me.
I love it.
We have no we got no Spring Bay left, mate. I would have loved to give some more away, but that's it. It's all gone. But we might have some more coming on the way of something different. Tom makes a great comment. I feel like last year my whiskey exploration was Dan Murphy's BWS. This year we're drinking more unusual expressions, so this year was harder. Yes and no. Like I said, every whiskey we bought here, we bought online. That's something we do here at the Whiskey List, something we believe in accessibility. So if you don't have a bottle shop near you or a specialty whiskey bottle shop, there is so many good whiskey specialty bottle shops, over 100 independent whiskey store in Australia right now. There's 20 amazing ones that we work with, but there's over 100. So thousands of different whiskies you can try at home from just ordering with e-commerce. Yes, some delivery delays at the moment, but once they get that right, the whole world of whiskies at your fingertips, as they say. Chris, how are we going with the
pigeon delivery?
How are we going, Chris? We got potential winners?
Some potentials. Very poorly, though. I started drinking and forgot I needed to tally. So, sorry.
All right, we'll give you a few more minutes.
I
think even though people thought some people thought it was harder, I reckon the scores are going to be higher this year.
Mm.
I reckon.
Well, I get what he was saying, like when you start drinking like a single cask or whatever, like you can forget what the OBs, like the official bottlings are. And so like that's why it's really, really fun drinking with people who are new to whiskey. Like you kind of everyone brings their, sub $70 whiskeys and you drink it again. And then you realize that, this is actually really good and really nice. But yeah, I would have done more if it weren't for lockdown.
Cap is sealed. All prizes, caps are sealed. I promise you, mate. No drugs here. We do full bottles only. No solid competition, mate. You play hard, you win hard. This is how we do it. All right, Chris. Looks like he's still busy, and there's we're now in the kitchen.
Close.
Someone rolling marbles in a bowl somewhere.
That's 100% milk and cereal. That is absolutely my pregnant wife getting milk and cereal.
That's fine. Quickly around the room, favorite out of the 6 tonight, Emma. Which one, or one that surprised you actually out of the 6?
I liked number 1, and I really liked number 5. But just because I could feel that peaty sherried vibe, and like I'm a sucker for anything heavily peated in a wine cask. As whiskey is my jam. And Atlas saying the Sinclair Rioja. If it's like red wine and peaty and under $100, it's on my shelf automatically. So that one was nice surprise, enjoyment for me.
Tom says number 6 was really good, but I don't know if it's just because I had 6 whiskeys, mate. Yeah. Sasha, which was your pick, either favorite or most unique whiskey of tonight?
My personal palate, 5 and 6 were my favorites. But like I love rye whiskey or high rye content whiskey. And then same with Emma. I love peated sherry casks, or peated wine casks. So, last time I went overseas, I came back with 4 peated sherry casks, because from 2 distilleries, actually, only 2 distilleries, because they're the whiskeys I love to drink. So
That's good. Irina?
I like 3 because it tastes nice, and I like 6 because it tastes nice, and I like 5 because it tastes nice, and it'll make me happy.
Good feedback.
1 and number 2.
I like that one from David's room.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the Ardbeg, like that Ardbeg, like that Ardbeg.
Jesus, David.
Wait. Can we go back?
I know.
There we go.
It's impressive.
Oh my
I
god.
just forgot.
I know.
That's
Is that-
obviously there is
They're the
an
open
open
bottles.
section with there's I don't know 80 odd open ones.
Is that the
Under
futon
that
that you
side.
sleep on there as well?
And that's where the cats sleep.
Surrounded
true.
by the
Open one.
precious.
Yeah, like a dragon in his cave.
Chris, do we have a winner?
I have fantastic news.
Okay,
The
wait.
winner for the winner for round 6 is the good news, and it's
He
Jacob.
did it.
It's Jacob.
Jacob did it.
Yay! Good job, Jacob.
Good job,
For 1
buddy.
round. Yay!
Now, before we announce who came
Yeah.
second and first, do we want to know what the whiskies are, or leave that to the very end? Now,
Right now.
all right. Big drum. These are the whiskies, not in order of tasting. These are the 6 whiskies. I'm praying I got the right picture of the label. I may have got one wrong quickly. But if you guess them,
What?
Ooh.
What?
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, Morris. Oh my gosh, which one was a Nika? Oh, what?
Nika was number 1, eh?
Yep, first one.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
the tasting order
light
tonight
freshness.
of the whiskies, I've just got it now. Number 1 was the Nika. Riders Tears Cask Strength was number 2, the Irish.
Interesting.
Number 3 was the Aussie, the New Morris Signature, which is probably why I was so familiar with a lot of people. Number 4 is the Mortlock 14-year-old. It was a travel exclusive, but during COVID, with no one flying, it then got brought into the major chains here, so it became widely available that way. And number 5 was the Talisker Port. That's why I was asking about it on different. I have no idea how to pronounce it.
Port Ray. Just
There you
Ray.
go.
Rouge.
And the lucky last one, our American of the night, is the Hudson Maple Cask Rye Whiskey. I believe it's officially discontinued now or rebadged as something else, but it has been available in Australia for the last few years. And there's the last time we checked, there's a couple of places online that still sell it. So there you go.
Now, is that Takasuru the one with the label like that on it? The one we were drinking tonight?
That's my worry. It might be the new white label.
It's the new one.
Damn.
That's okay though.
It's a new one? Cool.
try it again.
Interesting, because the new one's the one without Ben Nevis in it.
Sorry, I actually do
I
feel
miss
a little
Ben
bit bad,
Nevis.
although not really, just because he deserves it. But Jacob didn't get last every time. Like he's pretty much straight average, but like yeah, he didn't get last. I don't think he got last at all, to be honest.
I think we got it when you just started repeating
He's
it.
got to keep him on his toes.
Now, why I said Knob Creek was an interesting comment because they also did a maple cask finish not that long ago, which was actually pretty good. It wasn't bad at all.
I don't. Yeah, Hudson, because they use small format casks. I usually find their whiskey unpleasant, but this is really good.
Any surprises?
Hudson for sure.
Yeah. For sure. It
The
like
Talisker.
All
Oh,
right,
sorry. Yeah,
let me
the
just put up-
Talisker got me. Like that.
Chris, the order. Oh, there we go. So the numbers is the winners. All right. Interesting. All right, let me put it up, and then we can announce the winners. So I'm just doing a bit of copy and pasting because this is all done in real time.
Hey, since we're discussing whiskey, cracked the Ardbeg date for discussion. I think what they wanted us to discuss is, can young whiskey be good? I don't think anyone's really discussing that because of this bottle, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's nice whiskey.
Well, I haven't tried it myself, but yeah, I've heard good things. Like
It's a nice
one
whiskey.
of the, Ardbeg's great, but like one of the best Ardbegs to come out in a while.
It's what you'd expect from an 8-year-old's higher ABV whiskeys. It's a big smack in the face of smoke. It does sort of finish rather quickly for an Ardbeg, but it's nice. Drinks well.
All right, I have the winners. A special couple mentions. Garth, mate, 19.5 points. Congratulations, 4th place, mate. 4th place.
Yay! Well done, Garth.
3rd place. Interesting name on 23 points is Sneaky Nuts. Congratulations.
Hey, they snuck in there.
Good joke, Dad.
It's the ones who you don't expect, but they surprise you. But 2nd place, bit of a drum roll, and congratulations to Whiskey Business, 26 points.
Hey.
We'll reach out to you. Do we even know what that team is? Do we know who Whiskey Business is?
That's a good question.
Comment right now so we know who you are. Everyone else, don't comment.
Because that never goes wrong.
No.
Yep.
All right, but yeah, we'll figure that out, and we'll get you to pick your winning bottle there. Who is that? I am Whiskey Business. I know everyone wants to go to bed. It's been a long night. Thank you so much. If it is actually Damon, congrats, mate. Congrats. We'll be in touch. David, if you note that down.
Yep.
All right. Lucky last. Congratulations. 1st place. And this we'll have to explain because you only won by 0.5. So I don't know, Chris, if you know how you got that extra 0.5 awarded there, but congratulations to Andre, mate.
Yay!
And I think that's because you took out that 10-pointer. But Chris, maybe walk us through Andre's how he won.
Yes. Okay. So your first question about the 0.5s, we gave heaps of 0.5s for sort of partial correct answers, which is quite good. The big ones for him were round 3, which was the Morris, so he nailed that. And good God, spreadsheets. And then round 5 with the Hudson, you got really good with both of them. So sorry, no, that's round 5 was the Talisker.
The Talisker.
So getting the Talisker and the Morris, pretty much nailed them both. Well done, sir.
Congratulations, mate. We'll be in touch. This bottle's been sitting on my desk here. Maybe we can open it together. I hope you get to try it.
Hey, can you share it with us?
Casually.
Yeah. Jonathan, we'll share this final score list on the Whiskey List Facebook page probably tomorrow because Chris has had a few drinks tonight, but we'll share that. And we'll drop an EDM, a newsletter out to everyone as well with the final score list. But huge congratulations to all. This is the 2nd year we've done this. Everyone stayed on the entire live stream. I can see the stats there. So it's been fantastic. You've all played along. We've been live for 1 hour and 40 minutes. So I said approximately 1 hour. So my apologies, we're a little bit over time. We can improve it each year, but hopefully everyone's had a wonderful time. To our wonderful panelists, Sasha, Irina, and Emma, thank you so much for drinking along and throwing in some red herrings there on purpose. But there's some really good tips and wins as well. David, thank you for looking good, as always.
Should have gone to Specsavers, Ali. I'm going to face the radio. Everybody knows that.
Whiskey's my jam doesn't want to know his score, so we'll just hide you. We'll just put a little cross through it, a strike through, and don't read it. Great event. And Chris, thank you for being our sort of a judge and administrator in the background. There was a comment about I have no idea what this means.
Yeah, Paul, you got to explain that. Anyway, sorry. Whiskey Is My Jam actually did really good. You got like 11th place. That's actually pretty respectable.
There you go.
Nice.
And yeah, thank you for our unofficial sort of Christmas shindig here with Whiskey Lovers Australia. Rejoin the group if you haven't. WLA 3.0. Just search for that in Facebook. We feel like Facebook is deleting groups that have whiskey. That's why we just aren't saying Whiskey Lovers Australia anymore. Jacob might come again.
Would I be able to shamelessly plug my new venue?
Jenny, if that's your name, I'm going to award you an on-the-spot prize as well, because that is great. You didn't say risky list, so I'm impressed. Thank you. Sasha, what's the plug, mate? Go ahead. We love to support our hospos.
Thank you very much. Big old wine bar opening in South Melbourne. Mediterranean food, 300 wines. It's going to be delicious. The Golden Fleece Hotel, South Melbourne. We're opening on Saturday, so come by and say hello and experience me in person.
In all of your wonderful glory, which
Whatever
I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
All right, from all of us at the Whiskey Show, the Whiskey List, and Whiskey Lovers Australia, our wonderful community, thank you all. Have a safe and merry festive season, whatever you celebrate. Drink lots of whiskey as always. Post online your presents on Christmas Day. We love to see what everyone's ordered. So many orders are coming left, right, and center. I reckon 50% of Australia Post is whiskey that we're all buying and sending each other. So we're all to blame for that. And we will definitely be running this again. South Melbourne is in the south, Jacob. It's in the name. But yeah,
-1 point.
Everyone else stay online. Otherwise, I'm going to just end the broadcast. Thanks again. Merry Christmas. Stay safe. Drink whiskey. We'll see you at the next one.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a good one.